Blizzard gave us an update today, and it was a big one. Buffs all over the place, a couple tiny little nerfs to things like occult gems and maybe a little bit of the witch powers. But from what I can see, it definitely is going to be a really, really big change, and I'm very excited to go over it with everybody. We're going to start with some of the new aspects and unique items. They actually made some really cool changes to how uniques are going to be handled this season that I think everybody is going to be very, very excited about. There's updates to the caches in the Tree of Whispers. We have got a lot to go over, so we're going to cover all of this. Now, I have already completed a video on the new trailer that was released about the seasonal stuff. That's going to be in the description of this video as well. And we've already done a video about all of the upcoming witch powers. So that's going to be in the video too. We're going to just share all of the information, but if I put it all into one video, it would have been a very long video. So we're going to start with this today. If you want to check out all of the other ones, check the videos in the description of this video here, because the changes are pretty sweeping. There's a lot, and it's really cool. I'm very pumped for the season. If you guys are as pumped as I am, make sure that you hop into Discord with us. We're going to be running groups at the start of the season. I already have 16 separate groups set up with people. It's a lot of different people that have already signed up for this, and there's more stopping in to sign up. You get your own group. You get to go explore all of the new seasonal powers, all of the new zones, and all of the new equipment together. It makes the season start a lot of fun. If you've never played together with anybody, this is a really great opportunity too. The community that we have is very, very welcoming to new players, very friendly. You'll have the option of being in a voice chat if you're on console, so typing is a little bit more difficult. So you can talk to people, learn, ask questions. I'm very excited to get this season started. There's a ton of stuff out there, so make sure you hop in, join us. It's going to be a blast. Before we hop into these juicy changes for all of the classes, if you're a hungry barbarian like me, then you're going to want to check out a word from our sponsor here. HelloFresh. Delicious meals delivered to your door with pre-portioned, fresh ingredients and a step-by-step recipe. This is cooking made easy, so you can focus on what's really important. Spending time doing what you love. Make sure you use the link in the top of the description of this video with my promo code to receive your free 10 meals. Not only that, but you get breakfast for life for free. Not sure what to cook for dinner? Follow along with their daily menu planner. Or, if you're looking for some inspiration, browse their easy-to-use recipe menu with vegetarian options. Simply click the world cuisine of your choice, the type of dish you want to make, and follow their step-by-step instructions for the perfect meal. HelloFresh. Dinner is solved. All right, so let's hop into all of the stuff that we're going to be updating today. So we're going to start with new legendary aspects and unique items. We're going to start with my favorite, the Barbarian. That's going to be live on the launch of the season, January 21st. I'm going to be showcasing a Barbarian and all of the cool new Quake builds that are going to be coming out. So if you want to see it, stop by the live stream. I would love to hear what you are seeing and what you're doing. The Barbarian, the Mantle of the Mountain's Fury. This is a brand new unique chess piece. This is actually getting a buff. Thank goodness, because this was slightly being outshone by the Death Quake build that I had put together. I tried both of them on the PTR. Now, I didn't get to try them with the new seasonal powers, so it may have kind of tipped the scales one way or the other. This ability here, this chess piece, makes your earthquakes look amazing. The affix is here. The inherent 50% Hammer of the Ancients damage for 5 seconds after an earthquake explodes is being increased to 100% damage now. It's going to have a ton of armor, which is going to be huge. Ranks to your Hammer of the Ancients skills, 6 ranks is big. And then 2 ranks to your defensive stance. And then up to a 22% chance for earthquakes to deal double damage. This is going to be really, really cool to see here. The power that it has on it. So this is going to be the unique aspect. Hammer of the Ancients also forms seismic lines that deal damage and slows enemies hit by up to 80% for 4 seconds. Earthquakes it passes through explode for their total damage and are consumed. While you're using this, things just blow up. You'll see earthquakes blowing up all over the place, and we're able to spawn earthquakes very, very quickly. So as soon as you hit a Hammer of the Ancients inside of an earthquake, it just blows up. And it also is shooting out waves in front of you. So now it becomes more of a ranged attack too. So you see a group of monsters in front of you, you Hammer of the Ancients, and this line goes shooting out, and it does a huge amount of damage. We're also going to be getting a buff to one of the new aspects here. Your earthquakes are going to deal up to 60% increased damage instead of 50% increased damage, and their damage is going to be converted into fire damage. This is going to play into conjunction with the Ugly Bastard Helmet, which is dealing extra damage as fire. So all of this is going to be making a fire barbarian is basically what we're working towards here. Druids, what we're going to be doing is getting a new amulet. The affixes aren't changing. You're going to get 25 wall resistance. You're going to get a percentage of willpower, which is big. Your werewolf skills are going to get increased critical strike damage by a lot. More movement speed while shifted into a werewolf. Then 2 ranks to feral aptitude. The value of your lupine's ferocity consecutive critical strike damage is going to be increased by up to 200% instead of 150% against enemies when consecutively critical striking. This is going to be a really big buff for some of the druids. They have some new aspects here. Casting Hurricane also spawns smaller hurricanes on your wolves for 8 seconds. We also got some buffs to wolves and companions and stuff with the witch powers, which are going to increase their size. So you're going to get gigantic wolves with other hurricanes being spawned on top of them. The hurricanes are going to deal up to 15% damage of the hurricane's damage for each active wolf. So you get a lot of wolves, then you get a lot of big wolves, and then you'll get a lot of hurricanes all around. It's going to be pretty crazy AoE damage for your companions. Of Electrified Claw aspect. Shapeshifting into a new animal forms a lightning bolt to strike a nearby enemy, dealing lightning damage. Your lightning bolts deal 40% increased damage and stun enemies for 2 seconds. So just a little bit of extra crowd control as you're running through. Necromancer's got a couple new uniques. Indira's Memory, unique pants. This gives you casting a Bone Spear, reduces the Blood Wave's cooldown by 2 seconds. 25% increased max life, that's huge. Additional overpower damage, damage reduction while injured, which means when you're below 35% life, and then ranks to Tides of Blood. What the unique power is going to give you, Blood Wave is also a bone skill that spawns a bone prison at its endpoint, and increases the Blood Wave's skill damage by up to 80% for 8 seconds when cast. Bone Spear is also a blood skill, and will drain 10% maximum life each cast after hitting an enemy and consume a surrounding corpse and launch a new Bone Spear from it. This is the one that got a buff here, Kisame's Legacy, unique pants. So what you're going to be doing for this, casting a Blood Wave fortifies you for 70% of your maximum life. That's actually really big. Your ultimate skill damage is going to get increased. You're going to get damage reduction while fortified. Your Blood Wave is going to have a huge cooldown reduction. And then what's going to be increased is you're going to get up to 35% chance instead of 25% chance for Blood Wave to deal double damage. So your power on this, Blood Wave now forms a wave on each side of you. Both waves converge at your feet, pulling in surrounding enemies and exploding for damage. Each time an enemy is hit by a wave, they take increased damage from your Blood Wave, up to 300% increased damage in total. Of Distilled Anima, this is a new legendary aspect. While Soul Rift is active, you are unhindered and gain 1% increased movement speed per soul absorbed, up to a maximum of 60%. This lasts for 5 seconds after Soul Rift ends. Get enough cooldown on that Soul Rift, you're going to be flying around the map. Bone Duster's legendary aspect. Bone Spear is guaranteed to overpower enemies within Bone Prison and deals up to 50% increased damage to them. That is changed from guaranteed to critically strike, and then also an increase to its damage. So that's a really big buff there. The Rogues. Rogues have some boots that got buffed. Assassin's Stride. Casting a mobility skill grants 100% increased movement speed for 2 seconds, basically running around full speed no matter what. 50% increased shadow resistance, increased mobility cooldown reduction. And now what we're going to be gaining is 2 to 4 increased ranks to your mobility skills instead of 1 to 2, and then 3 to 4 skill ranks to your shadow imbuement instead of 2 to 3. The power here, mobility skills are always shadow imbued with 80% increased potency. On a lucky hit, damaging an elite enemy or a boss with a mobility skill has up to a 80% chance to instantly trigger a free shadow imbuement explosion. Slice and Dice is one of the new legendary aspects. Hopefully Twisting Blades makes a comeback. I love this build. Twisting Blades' initial hit now cleaves. Twisting Blades returns up to 45% faster. Then one of the new aspects that got buffed, Bitter Infection. Enemies infected by Shadow Imbuement take up to 70% increased damage instead of 50% increased damage every second. Shadow Imbuement deals up to 70% instead of up to 50% increased damage. Your Sorcerers, they're getting 2 unique focuses this season. They're all going to be based around Ball Lightning. Chance for Ball Lightning projectiles to cast twice is now chance to cast a Super Ball Lightning. up to 108% critical strike damage, 250% increased ball lightning projectile speed, up to 3 ranks instead of 2 ranks of ball lightning, and then 17% increased chance for ball lightning projectiles to cast twice. With your power here, ball lightning splashes on contact and deals up to 100% increased damage and stuns enemies for 1 second if it reaches maximum range. Super ball lightning is larger. They're going to deal up to 125% increased damage instead of 100, have a lucky hit chance, and its stun duration is increased to 3 seconds. The other focus that you're going to be getting, ball lightning can now be cast while moving. Up to 35% increase attack speed for 5 seconds after casting a defensive skill, up to 1.5 damage reduction for each active ball lightning, 1 to 3 ranks of ball lightning, and up to 17.5% chance for ball lightning projectiles to cast twice. The power on this one, ball lightning will now orbit you, so this is going to replace your gravitational aspect, creating a static field that damages enemies with inside for up to 180% of ball lightning's damage per active ball. This hopefully will be a massive amount of damage, and ball lightning will be on the table. It also grants unhindered well inside of the active field. Of Mind Awakening, this is a legendary aspect. Casting a Pyromancy skill immobilizes enemies for up to 1 second. Casting a Frost skill grants a barrier of up to 6% maximum life. While Enlightened, each skill grants all benefits. Enlightened is going to be one of your key passives, so while you are Enlightened, you get all of those benefits instead of just one. The Spiritborn, Sustained War. This is going to be a unique quarterstaff. The Inherent is going to have 45% block chance. You're going to have up to 188% dexterity, up to almost 1200 max life, which is really big. 35% chance for potency skills to deal double damage, and 2 to 4 skill rank of your focus skills. The power here, your focus skills benefit from all their upgrades, and they increase the damage of your potency skills by up to 20% for 8 seconds, and that goes up to a maximum of 200%. The new legendary aspect is going to be for Razor Wings. Endless Talons. Razor Wings hitting an enemy increases the eagle skill damage by 1% for 4 seconds, and that goes up to 50%. When Razor Wings critically strikes, it grants 3 stacks instead of 1. Now that all sounds amazing, but if you were in this current season, and I heard from a lot of people, finding all of these with max rolls that were greater affixes was actually a very big struggle. I heard so many stories of people finding 4GA gear with terrible rolls on the unique powers. Now, Blizzard is actually going to help us solve that problem. What they're going to be doing, and this is actually a really, really cool change, unique powers minimum roll scales with the greater affixes. Now, you do not have to find a 4GA to get the max roll. If you find something that is going to look like this, you will no longer see 200% as your power. You're going to see much higher because it's going to scale. Currently, you can find very minimum rolls with 4GAs, which felt terrible. You finally got the drop you were looking for. You've been farming forever. It drops and then has the worst power roll that you can possibly get. That is being changed in this season, and that is going to be a really great quality of life for everybody that's out there hunting for the perfect ones. They're doing this to try and make the uniques feel really special and feel really great. Now, this is only for unique gear, right? So what it's going to be talking about is this is going to better align with the overall power of the items, which makes items with 3 and 4 GA feel really impactful. So now you know, if you drop a 4GA item, you're going to see a really, really great roll on that. You don't have to hope and pray that you didn't get the minimum roll. It's going to be there for you. Something else that they did that is actually really, really cool is that they now added ancestral uniques to your Tree of Whispers. If you look right here at this very bottom one, they have the symbol for greater affix. That is going to be something that you can now use a cache with a greater affix. And what this is going to do, it's going to guarantee at least one ancestral item. At least one. You can get more than just the one. They haven't released how often that these are going to be dropping, but we're going to be doing an insane amount of Whispers this season. That is the seasonal theme. So we're going to see this quite a lot. They're going to be increasing the drop rate of ancestral uniques. They're going to give us them in chests now. We're going to be getting better drops on the powers on the 1, 2, 3, 4GA uniques. So overall, the gear should feel a lot better this season. I'm really, really looking forward to how this is going to be working. So that's all I got for those updates there. All of the videos that I've been doing will be in the description of each one of the videos, so make sure you check them out. Again, hop into Discord, join us. I am live every night. Stop by, let me know what you think of this season. Say hi, theorycraft with me. Catch you on the clip side.